Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'm Tawney.
I'm Lucy Love.
And we are here with Peep Show Toys today, and we want to talk about how sex changes in long-term relationships.
Yes.
So we both have been in long-term relationships. We also understand that there's a long road ahead of us, but hopefully some of these techniques and some of these stories we'll share with you are things you can kind of implement now so that you can find a better sort of sex situation with your partner down the line.
Because things never stop changing. Relationships never stop changing and evolving, and so you have to do things to keep things fresh, new, and interesting as you evolve into different people as time goes on. Because none of us are the same people that we were 3 or 4 years ago. And if you're in a long-term relationship, let's say 10 to 20 years, you have evolved so many times.
It's true.
Within that time period. And sex is no different than that. Like, in my relationship, I mean, when we first started dating, we had sex all the time, like, tons of times in the day, like, seriously, like 7 times in a day sometimes. And as time has gone on, that totally, I mean, sometimes, like, every once in, like, a while we'll have a day where we just
frantic day.
Yeah, we just have like a ton of sex.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just not realistic for every single day.
No, it's true. And then also in my situation, I mean, there's a day I can remember where we had sex so many times that I felt like I was falling apart. And it was constant and all the time, but also the situation was different. I mean, at that point, we were working all week in separate states and meeting up on the weekends. It was saved up. Yeah, so it was like saved up, and it was, but over time now, like, there's certain things where you get comfortable, and I don't have morning sex. Like we were talking about,
I don't like morning sex, and I want to say for anyone out there who doesn't like morning sex and you're looking at this, it's okay.
Did you know that males' peak arousal time is in the morning, but women's is at night? Mm-hmm. So we are on different schedules.
Yeah.
It's fine. But, like, these are things that do change, and no matter how sexually active you are, there are going to be weeks where you don't want to. However, these are some ways that we've kind of implemented some techniques or some things into our sex lives to keep it interesting, to keep it spicy, and to make sure that that light doesn't go out.
First on the list, toys. Yes. Use toys, all sorts of toys. Obviously, consent for, like, experimentation. Yeah. All sorts of different types of play, like power play, like pressure bondage plays, you know? Yeah, like bondage. Knowing what you like and what you don't like, and also letting your tastes evolve with time. Yeah.
Because it can change. I mean, you might not think that the idea of handcuffs right now is sexy to you, but a little bit down the line, you might want to try it. And if you have that door open and you're bringing in things with your partner, it's that much easier to discover kinks that could reignite this flame over and over in your relationship.
Yeah.
Second on the list for me really was just communication. If you can't talk to your partner about sex, who are you talking to about it?
Right.
Like, that should be the number one person that you're able to trust to talk to about not feeling the passion or things that you might like that could ignite it.
Well, like, okay, so in, like, a situation for me, like, there has been, like, points in my life where I'm in, like, say, very deep depression and I don't feel like having sex at all, right? But if I don't communicate to my partner, hey, I don't feel like having sex right now because I am having all these emotional feelings, and they don't know that, and they just think that I'm being distant and just am not engaging.
Like, you think it's them?
Yeah, they kind of think it's them that you're, like, pulling away, and that's why communication is so important, because then they are starting to feel some feelings. There's no communication. You're continuing to feel all these feelings.
Yeah, and so really, I know those are only really 2 things to kind of implement, but they are so much more. There's so many different stages, so many things within those 2 that you can start to implement in your life, because yes, sex does change in long-term relationships, but that doesn't mean that it has to fizzle out and die.
Yes, and even if it's changing and shifting, that's okay. And, like, sex doesn't have to be one thing. Like, you don't have to have sex all the time, every day to be considered to have, like, a sexually healthy relationship. relationship. Like,
give a kiss. Tell them they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Spank if that's what you're comfortable with. Yeah.
It's okay if you don't want to have sex for a week or a few weeks. You know, like, that's okay. And you are allowed to change these things and allow them to change as they do.
And still show your partner that, you know, you still think that they're sexy and it could have nothing to do with them at all. So we hope that this has helped you a little bit. Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to give us a follow. Again, I'm Tawney.
I'm Lucy.
And we're with Peep Show Toys, so we will be seeing you very soon. Join the pleasure posse.